My father-in-law got completely wasted at my wedding and told everyone I was contaminating their precious bloodline, and the way it backfired was beautiful. This man has always thought his family was somehow royalty, because his great-grandfather owned a mill or some shit back in the 1900s. He brings it up constantly like we should all bow down to the mighty mill fortune that doesn't even exist anymore. When I started dating his son Brett, he literally asked for my family tree to make sure I was suitable stock, like we were breeding racehorses. I thought he was joking, but no, he was dead serious, wanted to know about hereditary diseases, the education levels of my grandparents, the whole creepy eugenics package. My family's just normal people, teachers, nurses, a mechanic. Nothing fancy, but apparently that wasn't good enough for Harold's imaginary dynasty. He kept making these little comments about hoping the kids get Brett's height, not mine, or Brett's nose, not mine, or Brett's intelligence, as if I was some kind of swamp creature who tricked his son. The wedding day arrives, and Harold starts drinking at noon. By the ceremony, he's swaying in the front row. His wife Deb keeps trying to give him water, but he switches to champagne the second she looks away. During cocktail hour, he corners my relatives asking about their jobs and education, like he's conducting interviews. My uncle Tony, who's a plumber, gets asked if he ever considered bettering himself, and Tony just laughs in his face. Then comes dinner, and Harold's absolutely hammered. He stands up, clinking his glass for a speech nobody asked for, starts slurring about how his family built this town, which is bullshit, they moved here 10 years ago. Then he looks directly at me and goes, "It's such a shame to see our genes diluted by marrying down, but I suppose Brett could have done worse. Could have married someone with no education at all instead of just community college." The whole room goes silent. My dad starts to stand up, but I grab his arm. Harold continues, "I just hope the children take after our side. Would hate to see the mill owner's legacy reduced to mediocrity." My cousin Lisa shouts, "What fucking mill?" Harold starts explaining about his great-grandfather's mill that went bankrupt in 1987. Then my grandmother, sweet little 5'0" Ethel, stands up. She goes, "Harold, sit down. You're embarrassing yourself." He tells her to mind her business. She says, "Actually, genealogy is my business. I've been researching family histories for 40 years. Want to know what I found about yours?" Harold smugly says, "Go ahead," thinking he's about to get praised. Ethel pulls out her phone and starts reading. Harold's great-grandfather didn't own the mill, he was the bookkeeper who got fired for embezzlement. His grandfather was a traveling snake oil salesman who got run out of 3 states for fraud. His father spent 2 years in prison for tax evasion. And Harold himself got his job at the bank through his wife's father after failing the bar exam 4 times. The room erupts in laughter. Harold's face goes purple and he starts sputtering about lies and slander. Ethel keeps going. Meanwhile, my granddaughter's family includes 2 veterans, a pediatric nurse who saved dozens of lives, an engineer who designed bridges you probably drive on, and a teacher who shaped hundreds of young minds. So tell me, Harold, which genes exactly are superior? Deb is mortified, trying to pull Harold back to his seat, but he's stumbling around, insisting Ethel is making things up. Then Brett stands up and goes, "Dad, she's not making it up. I hired a genealogist last year to research our family because I was tired of your stories. Everything Ethel said is true. The mill owner's story is something great-grandpa made up to impress women." The look on Harold's face was priceless. He tries to storm out but trips over a chair and my uncle Tony has to help him up. As Tony's steadying him, he goes, "Hey Harold, maybe you should consider bettering yourself." And the whole room loses it. Harold spent the rest of the reception sitting in the corner while Deb apologized to everyone. My mom goes up to her and says, "Don't worry about it, every family has one." Deb goes, "One what?" And mom says, "One embarrassing relative who thinks they're better than everyone. Usually they're wrong." The best part came later when Harold sobered up and tried to pretend nothing happened. Brett told him either he apologizes properly or we're done with him. Harold wrote this half-assed apology about being drunk and not meaning it. I sent back a family tree showing all my family's actual accomplishments versus his family's arrest records and bankruptcies with a note saying, "For your records in case you forget again which side has superior genes." Now every family gathering my grandmother brings genealogy papers just in case Harold starts talking about his precious bloodline. He hasn't said a word about genes since and actually told someone at Thanksgiving that intelligence comes from both sides of the family. Progress, I guess, but mainly just hilarious watching him choke on his own words.